PewPewNationTV, welcome back, guys. Happy New Year. Not yet, though. Okay, we just got over Christmas, but we are happy, aren't we? Yeah, I hope so, because today we are going to be doing a three-step process, if you will, to Mossberg's 590 A1 Magpul version pump action shotgun. We're going to be doing a little bit of a tweak on the cheek riser. We are going to do a critical tweak to the follower, and we are going to add a real cool looking mount so we can put some flashlights and some lasers, up on this bad boy. But let's not delay any further, right? Let's get on over to the bench and let's kick this thing off. See you in a minute. All right, so here we are at the bench. The Mossberg 590 A1 Magpul edition. There are three things that you want to go ahead and do on this shotgun if you happen to purchase it. One of the things that I recommend highly on doing, which you should do, especially on this particular model, is replacing the follower. All right. What you'll see when I take this apart, it's been said that it rusts over time. It's kind of flimsy, if you will. It's really not that beefy compared to the rest of the shotgun, which I happen to agree. So what we're going to do today, one of the things of three that we're going to do today is we're going to replace the follower with this GG&G beefy follower. One of the beautiful things I like about this is the way that it's constructed. It's a lot beefier, thicker than the OEM one. Plus you have this anodized red plug here at the end, which basically will show you whether your chamber is empty or full, because you'll have that. With the OEM one, okay, it's just black. And let me see if I can get a better picture for you right there. Okay, it's right in here. Okay, and it's just black, right? Which is fine. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but with safety in mind, it's always good to do that. Next thing that we're going to do is, from the factory, you get a cheek riser, two of them, one that's already installed on the shotgun, as you can see here, which is your standard OEM height. And then you get one like this that comes in the package that is taller. I need one that is taller, just so where my cheek is going to rest, okay? So the instruction manual that they provide with this does not tell you exactly how to change this out. So I'm going to do that for you today. Why they left that out, I have no idea, but it's something that Mossberg may want to go ahead and look into for future printing of said manuals, all right? The third thing that we're going to do here today is going to be, we are going to be adding this little guy right here from Defender Tactical. I'll leave descriptions for everything down below, guys. So after the video, you guys can go down there and go have a look at these items out there on the web, okay? This here is a light mount, all right? What I like about this light mount is that it's tri-rail. They do make this in a dual rail, which would be one along the top, one along the bottom right here. I went with the tri-rail setup because of the fact that once you put this on here, and I'll demonstrate here in the middle, it'll basically fit something somewhat like this, but not exactly. I'm just doing this right now so you have an idea of what it's going to look like. You can mount your light on either side, on the bottom, or over here on this side, or you can mount a light and you can mount a laser if you want, if that's your thing, or whatever else you can mount on here. It's up to you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and do this also as well. It's very simple, but there are some things you should know about the Magpul edition of this 590. You have your sling mount here that needs to come off before you disassemble this to be able to replace the follower. Okay, not that big a deal, because you do have it also back over here. This is your other end of the sling mount, which comes in pretty handy, especially with the Magpul slings. They're awesome. I already own two of them. I will get one eventually for this particular model. And also another thing that you can do if you choose to is to have outside shell carriers. I opted to go with Velcro ones on here because you can just rip them on and rip them off really, really quick. I did one back here for the stock and one up here, as you can see. I'm not going to show it here right now because it's really not that important for what we're doing. Plus, we'll practice safety guidelines, you know, not to have any live ammunition here, as I'm going to show you right here. My chamber is empty. Let me get a better shot there for you. There is nothing in here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and open it up just to added benefit. Okay. There we go. Totally empty and secure. Nothing in there. All right. Just want to abide by the guidelines. All right. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to start off by doing the cheek riser. We're going to do that first. So here are the things you're going to need. You are going to need a handy dandy flathead screwdriver. I like using a gunsmith flathead screwdriver only because of the fact that I just like them. Number one, and number two, they're just really, really good. I don't know. You can pick these up at Forster. You can look them up online. So you're going to come down over here to this piece, this screw, not here, this one on top. And let's just go ahead and undo this. This is actually quite simple, guys. So just bear with me. I'm going to go really slow here so you guys at home can just keep up. I know sometimes people like to speed these videos up, but I'm not going to do that here this time because of the fact that I appreciate when people do their videos and they take their time, so you don't have to be hitting the pause and play button. So anyway, once you back this guy out right here, set it off to the side. All right, you're going to flip your shotgun over like this, and you're simply going to go ahead and tug back on the stock like this, okay? Now, I want to explain something here for you really quick, if I may. You're going to notice here that you have these plates, all right? Some of you might wonder, well, what's that for? Well, your length of pull. You can basically remove some of these, okay, and add as many as you want, and you can adjust this entire stock for your preferred length of pull. These happen to work just fine for me, okay? So you take this sucker and you just slowly back this puppy out just enough. That's all I really need to do. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and reach in the back over here, and you want to lift up like that and out. Again, I'll put it back in, give you a better camera angle here, right? So from here, from this angle, you just want to grab the back of it back here and just lift up this way, out, and pull out this way like that. Why? It's got a little piece right here, little lever right there. As you can see, better right there. Okay, it's kind of angled, so it's not going to pull straight out. You got to tilt it for it to pull out. So once you take this sucker out of the way here, you're going to notice it's just a bare shell. Take your new one, same thing, angled piece that you have right here. You want to set that guy in just like this, down into the slots that are there. Okay, hold down on it like this with one hand, take your other hand, pop that sucker back into place, and there you go. All right, that's how easy it is. And you're going to notice here the difference already in your height, okay, for your cheek riser. Take your screw. Now notice your screw is going to have a little bit of thread locker that's on it. You can get a better view right there. You see that little beige gooey stuff, okay? So if you want or feel the need that you need to replace it with some thread locker, okay, I don't think you do at all, in my opinion, but if you choose to, you can. Just remember to use the blue one. That way, if you ever need to take this apart again in the future, you can. Don't use the red one because that sucker will stay on there and you'll have a really hard time trying to get it out, all right? So let's put our screw back in here. We're going to screw this back down. Just like that right there. And again, just to reiterate, I don't know the reason why Magpul or Mossberg never really included instructions on how to swap this out if you ever felt the need. I don't know. Maybe it was an oversight. Maybe they just figured people are smart. They're going to figure it out. I don't know. But I'm here to help you out with that. Okay, so that sucker is on. And there you go. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Next thing is let's go ahead and do our follower. Okay. So to do our follower, we want to go ahead and we want to start taking this thing apart. Now, what are you going to need to disassemble your barrel? You really don't have to take your tube other than just unscrewing it, but your slide stop and your lock and your rails here, they can stay on there. I'll show you that here in a minute. You don't have to pull those apart. I find it easier. I like easy. All right. So for what you're going to need here is you're going to need a T5 bit, okay, to fit in here. Lock my screwdriver. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to go ahead and unscrew your sling mount. There we go. That just comes out like this. You're going to notice it's got some buffer pads. All right, these are basically rubber pads on here not to mar the finish on your barrel. Okay, keep in mind that if you lose adjustment, okay, of where this thing goes, basically from here to here, you find the middle ground, and that's where OEM mounting of your sling mount goes. Obviously, you want to adjust this. You can adjust this back and forth based on your needs and your comfort level, okay, of whoever you feel best with your sling. But for OEM purposes, I'm going to put it right back in place. There are some lube markings that were left here, so more or less it'll be easy to find out where it is that sucker goes exactly. So once you move this, you can put it out of the way. There for a little bit. We are now going to take and rack this sucker we want to go ahead and bring this thing back about halfway. About right there is where you want it. Okay. Let me show you about right there is where you want it. So you can tell right here. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and take our magazine tube out. Slide that off about right there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull our barrel out. Our barrel just comes out just like that. You got to raise it up a little bit just to clear your bayonet lug mount here. I got to juggle with this just a little bit. Where's that sucker at? I'm trying to find there she goes. Okay, perfect. There we go. Once our barrel is out of the way, there you go. Heavy wall barrel too, guys. This is a beauty. This is one of the beautiful things about the 590A1. Let's set that guy off to the side here real quick, just like that. All right. Now we got our magazine tube. All you want to do here is just unscrew this sucker. Now, be mindful that there is a spring. There's your spring right there. You can keep that guy right there intact. We'll just set him down right here. You don't need to go any further than this, guys. You really, really don't. You don't need to go any further than this. Okay. Right here is as far as you really need to go. Now, here is where your follower is. It is right in here, right in there. So if you simply turn this over just a tad bit like that, take your index finger, put it in here, and you can just bring this sucker out just like that. That simple. Now, let me show you the difference. This is your OEM one. Okay. Look at how thin this guy is. All right. Compared to the GG&G follower. Side by side. Look at the thickness of this guy. Okay. Here's what I was trying to tell you, how this is anodized in red. This is just black. It gives you a better overall view of your chamber, whether say, hey, do I have a round in this thing or do I not? Well, if you see the red on here, you know, pretty much you're safe and you're good to go. All right. Word has it, I have not seen this yet, obviously, because this is a new shotgun. I have had others before in the past. I have noticed, you know, this area, especially right here, starting to rust just a tad bit. Most of the time, some guys would take some emery cloth and file this down, you know, and maybe spray it again with some Rust-Oleum or whatnot, just to, you know, keep it going. But I found that, you know what, for you know, push come to shove, get rid of this. I just put it off to the side right here, and we're going to run with this. We're going to go with the GG&G follower on here. And again, I'll leave descriptions down below. So how to install this? Very, very simple. Very simple. you're going to want this, okay, facing this way. And obviously your spring here is going to fit right inside there. Okay. So in order to put this sucker in, you do the reverse of the removal process. You go in through here, basically slide that guy in there. Okay. Just like that. Now what you want to do is you want to take your magazine tube. Let's go ahead and run this guy back in here. My camera is looking, sorry about the camera angle there. Right here. All right. So you want to help the spring just get inside the follower right there and kind of eyeball it so this really small coil fits right in the center, which it does. Here's a little tip. So you don't cross thread this barrel magazine tube. You don't want to cross thread that in here, right? So take your index finger again and push this way. Okay, just a little bit of pressure as you insert this, the magazine tube. See, you see what I'm doing right here? All right, you see me pushing that with my finger, right? Well, just put a little bit of pressure on there so you can work the tube, the magazine tube, and gently make this seat. Give me one, let me get it to sit. It's a little tricky to get this boy in here. There we go. Once you get that part before the threads into the receiver right there, okay, just hold her steady. Put a little bit of pressure on the follower so it goes into the tube and gently start twisting this back on as you hold that follower with pressure applied into the tubes to make sure that you do not want to cross thread your magazine tube. Just slowly turn it as I'm doing right here. And it just, you see that? It's reached this end. Push that on there. Just give her a little twist right there. She's good to go. Right? Now let's go ahead and put your barrel back on. Mind you, you have your bayonet lug mount that's right here. All right. I don't think I'm ever going to get one, but I have seen them out there. They're pretty cool looking in case you ever want to get a bayonet for your shotgun. But anyway, let's guide that sucker back in here. Rest it on the top. All right, let's work that into the receiver. All right, once we get, and she's in there, just like that. You got to wiggle it back and forth a little bit so the grooves can line up in here, and she's good to go in there. Now, we can go ahead and put our sling mount back on here. But first, let's put our cap on. And again, there's a reason why I'm doing this, and I'll show you next when we go ahead and put our light mounts on here, okay? We're going to go ahead and screw in. Hang on one second. Let me make sure I got this all the way back here. There we go. All right. Now that we're all the way back, I have threads. Put that back on there like that. This is a new shotgun, guys. So again, it's, you know, could be a little bit more proficient with it, but I'm just going as I am on here. All right. So our magazine tube lock nut is on there, but we're going to leave that on there temporarily. Let's get our sling mount back on. So take your sling mount. This will come apart. So you can obviously adjust it either way that you want. I just want it right now up and down, just the way it is. All right, so there we go. Just like it came from the factory. We're going to lay that here, put this over the top, kind of guide it back in place where it was, just like that. Take our top portion. Make sure my camera's lined up so you guys can see this at home. Usually I do a lot of pistol work here, right, which is easier, but since I got this shotgun, I got to compensate for space. All right, take our T5 mount, screws already in there. There she goes. And we'll go ahead and work this guy back in place. If you guys are getting value out of this video today and you're liking what you're seeing, please do me a solid. Go ahead and smash that like button. Share with your friends. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click that activation bell, okay? And That way, anytime I have another review coming up here, you know, you guys can go ahead and get notified. All right. Here's one of the things I wanted to tell you before about why it's so important to make sure this is lined up. As you can see on here, I thought it was lined up and I was not. Isn't that awesome? Let's make sure I get this sucker back down in there. Tell you what, let's do this. There we go. All right. We should be okay. Now we should be good. Magpul makes some excellent, excellent stuff. They really, really do. As for some reason, this guy is giving me a hard time. There we go. Now I got it. Sorry about that. I just needed to give it a little shove in the bottom. All right. Now she's on there. She's on there. She's good. She's solid. All right. Let's go ahead now that we have our GG&G follower. We got this on. Let's move on to our light mount. Okay. So I'm going to flip this guy over. Okay. So our light mount. One thing I need to show you here is, like I said, is this piece, and the most important one is this little guy right here. As you can tell, that this nut that I have right here is going to get replaced when I slide this on. All right. So basically what that means is the one for your end cap that I put on here, that's going to come out. Now, don't lose this. Keep this off to the side. All right. Make sure you don't lose that. You want to hang on to that. This one, the difference between that one and this one is that this one, the key with the light mount, is longer. Okay, as you can see right there. And the reason why it's longer is basically to compensate for the additional space that the mount is going to require. But here's the beautiful thing about this, guys. Okay, when you're ready, all right, to put this on here, make sure that your magazine tube is solid, snugged up. Okay, this will simply slide over the top just like that. Let me do it again. All right, off. There you go. On. Just like that. That's it. Now you want to take this, and again, blue Loctite. If you feel the need to put a little bit of one little drop of thread locker, of blue thread locker on here, you can. Don't use the red again. All right, then mount this here in the front. I'm going to choose to leave mine on. Okay, once you have it on there just like that, all you want to do is you can take whatever, an Allen wrench. I'm going to use this little screwdriver right here. We're going to put it into this little hole here and just give it a quarter of a turn. 1/4 of a turn. That's it right there. Just to tighten it up and ease it out. That's as far as you want to go. Give you a better angle here. And that's how this is going to look. All right, so you've got a rail on the side, you've got a rail on the bottom right there, and you've got one on this side right here as well. Okay, and then you can take your light. I prefer, again, for my choice, my taste, I'm going to go ahead and get my light mounted down here. Now, what I like about this is that you can use a Surefire X300U or a Ultra if you want, and you can mount that sucker here. It is a big light, so once you put it on here, it may extend, I'm going to say probably out here to the nut where it is, and then it'll come at least back over here where you're still going to have enough room and space to be able to toggle that on and off if you want to use your hand to do that, or you can get the extension cord that comes all the way back this way where you have the activation switch. It's your choice. Like I said, there's a lot of options that you can do for this right here. Those that want to run a light with a laser option, again, you can do that as well, because still you'll have access to, I'll show you here, from where your charge handle is here, Okay, let's see if I can line up and do this better for you from where your hand is here. Once you're holding your shotgun, it's just as easy as coming over here and just, you know, hitting the on and off. Stupid camera angle. There we go. Hitting the on and off button right here. Okay, for your light once you have your light mounted here. Okay, so that's basically it, guys. Once again, the Magpul 590 A1 edition of Mossberg's 590 A1 shotgun. Again, like, share, subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching today. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please leave a comment down below. And as usual, thank you for being here, and we will catch you on the next one.